Michael, I'm curious, have you, uh, I think virtual selling is not something that we've like assessed separately from sales competencies. I have my ideas about what I think are the more important competencies in a virtual sales world, but do you have any thoughts about which competencies might be more or less important, either from the sales AP or maybe from emotional intelligence?
Yeah, I mean, I have some ideas. I haven't researched it myself, and as somebody who is not selling, um, as many of your listeners would be, I can't necessarily speak from my experience, and so some of these ideas might resonate or might not, and you can let me know what you think. But the ones when I was thinking about this that I thought of, number one, that selling related knowledge. Not being able to be in front of people to me means that you need to be even more prepared. You know your facts, you know what you're coming in with, and being diligent beforehand, I think, is more important than ever. And I mean, I don't know if that's so controversial. I think coming
No,
prepared is a pretty
I think
important
that
thing.
makes a lot of sense. And I think you're right, Michael, in that one, especially because, one of the things that's happening, and maybe this relates as well to composure, but people are working with technology that they haven't used before. This is one of the things we hear a lot, right? Thousands of salespeople are being thrown into the deep end. And the more they have around sales knowledge, that relaxes them, right, Merritt? That means that that's one less thing they have to be worried about.
Right.
Because if they're worried about the tech and they don't know what they're going to talk about and they aren't confident in how to manage that sales process and the techniques that go with it, I can easily see how that would overwhelm a salesperson and make it much more challenging.
Yeah, because you want them to be able to focus on, how do I build trust? How do I connect with people virtually? And, they need to maintain their own composure when there's so many things around them that they hadn't been, skilled and trained and experienced in dealing with in a sales interaction. I think along those lines, on the other side of the spectrum, I can certainly make the case for sociability being really important in our traditional way of selling. But in this virtual world, I wonder if that's as much of a competency, or if that actually could hurt somebody. Like if I'm really sociable, do I feel inhibited by virtual sales? Does that competency really help me? I don't know. I'm still looking at that one.
Yeah, well, I think my general take when I'm coming up against that question of how has the virtual shift influenced pretty much anything is my default, my instinct is to say that all of these things are still similarly important as they would be in person, but in many cases even more important. Thinking about the barriers now that are being put up between us, it's not that you don't have to build rapport anymore, right? It's even more important to flex those muscles and to make that connection when you're not in that normal environment.